And the Hangout is live. Ladies, gentlemen, and informants, welcome to Project Bankshot Weasel, Season 2, Episode 1, Watch Your Balls.
Excellent.
At the moment, we have two players with us. James is a proto player. He'll be sitting in and watching actively. He can do this because he's going to be maybe creating a character for us soon. And, well, pardon me, Andreas and Shu, you already know. And I'll be starting with them, and James will be interjecting questions and maybe throwing out some cool stuff that I can throw at them.
Oh, I'm so good at already causing trouble for myself when I'm in a game. Why don't I use that to cause trouble for other people that I can avoid, at least for the time being? What if this guy had a rocket launcher? I don't know. It seems like a good idea.
Rocket launcher may be a little extreme. Just a bit, for now.
Maybe.
So instead, let's just set the scene at the base jumper.
Mm-hmm.
Which I believe Andreas has a temporary residence at. Not his primary residence.
Exactly. I just have a sparsely decorated apartment in the base jumper.
A new apartment?
And my own apartment is anti-decorated.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been decorated in neo-American cinders. Yeah.
Things got a little too hot there.
Yeah.
That's one way of putting it.
It's a while back, I guess.
Shu will tell you the details, and insurance would have paid for some of that at least.
I guess it will.
But you have a little temporary residence there where you can maybe pick up some occasional fun. Now, James, because you're new to this and are not familiar with the setting, this whole thing began and the team pulled together at a bar and dance club called the Base Jumper in Gary Restart.
Okay. Yep. Familiar with Gary-ish.
Yeah, the club had another issue that had to be dealt with because certain people were trying to muscle in on the territory. I mean, literally, they wanted the land the base jumper was on. And there were reasons they couldn't give up the base jumper, namely the shuttered biological warfare laboratory in the basement that they couldn't move safely until certain things happened. They had to make those happen.
They had to take care of the biological warfare creations.
Yes. They needed a hot disassembler big enough to hold it.
Yep.
So once the club was demolished enough by other things, they airlifted it out and put it into a big frickin' oven and melted it to slag. Then they rebuilt the base jumper.
Mm-hmm.
And owing to the problems they had with the neo-modernists, they managed to get a little of the neo-modernists' land for the base jumpers. So the base jumper is now this dance club and bar on one side of the road that goes up about 6 or 8 stories, goes across the road, and sets a foot on the other side of the street.
Indeed.
So is it sort of like an arch that straddles the road, or is it?
Yes, it is. It is an arch that straddles the road.
Cool.
So it's become a sort of hot property for people to stop in, drink at, dance at, get drunk at, fall down at, etc.
Just so long as they don't fall out the window onto the street.
A lot of those windows don't open, and rightly so. Also, a thing to remember about the base jumper, it is properly a community these days, which means it abides by many of the structures that a community, quote, end quote, abides by, which means the bar and the dance club section, that is actually the field house for the community. Anyone coming into the community has to go in through a field house. Maybe a public restroom if there are any dress codes, which there aren't at the base jumper. There's a guardhouse that maintains the sanctity between the field house and the rest of the community, being the apartments over the road.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes?
What do you mean by community? It sounds like there's some kind of implications for that, instead of just group of people living together.
It is a group of people living together, but with a very, very aggressive housing association, essentially.
Ugh.
Well, this is a good thing for the people living in the community because that housing association also arranges for defense and protection for those inside. So
Okay.
It's not uncommon for communities to be armed. So this is a fully armed and operational dance club.
I hope it has a disco ball.
It can simulate. It can simulate it if it needs to. Typically, they don't, though, as they have several lighted floors. I mean, literally, the floors light up, and they're glass. When they're not lit up, you can see through them.
So it's like obviously a multi-level kind of thing.
A multi-level dance club with a multi-level bar.
Wow.
And a guardhouse in one corner for people going into the private rooms.
Oh, okay. So, additionally, there's like habitation.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I hope there's
so,
nothing.
Andreas, you don't mind if I start Filbert there, do you?
No, no problem.
Mm-hmm. Probably out in the field house because that's more interesting than your apartment.
Absolutely. My apartment is practically empty aside from a sparsely made bed and some clothes to change in case anything happens. So
accidents happen.
Yes, they do.
And I bet they're all fireproof too.
They are well chosen for different styles.
Mm-hmm.
But at the moment, I'm at the field house. I'm in the bar area, and
you have the bar along one wall, and there is a winding staircase that goes up to the second floor dance floor, and below that there is a first floor dance floor. You have to sort of pass by or around the winding staircase in order to get to that lower dance floor. And the field house connects up to the upper dance floor.
Yeah.
Beyond that, there's changing rooms, elevators, etc.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It's also kind of busy in here today because, well, Forceball season has started up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And as it happens, you're right next to the Gary Restart chapter of the Indiana Magnetron's Forceball fan club.
Mm-hmm. There are memories.
Yes.
I'm going to mention those memories to Kevin Granger behind the bar,
Mm-hmm.
our head bartender. So, do you remember that one time when we had the trouble with the...
Yeah, I remember that. Oh, I remember that. They're in good company tonight, too, it looks like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know if you've looked around the club, but you look over there. That is Grunt Peldon. He is the attack forward for the Indiana Magnetons, the professional team.
Mm-hmm.
And, wait, that's another of them over there. He starts looking about the bar with a little concern and surprise. Then he gets on the. Makes a hand motion and says, "Carly, could you get down here, please? Looks like we have VIPs, and a lot of them." Meanwhile, what's Y doing? Shu? Yeah.
I'm probably watching a game. with
Lasco.
with the fella. Yeah, Laszlo Darova, I think. Darova, is that his name? Yeah. Anyway, probably watching the game. A game. That's
Lasco Darova.
Wait, you said the Ford is at the club?
Which?
Yeah, the forward of the Indiana Magnetons, he's at the club, you said?
The attack forward of the Indiana Magnetons, Grunt Peldon, is at the club.
Alright, well then he's not on television, so I can't tie that in.
No, they
yeah, we'll just...
At this point, they're still in practice and exhibition games, and the Magnetons didn't play today. They probably had practice, though.
Yeah. And I probably don't care so much about, you know, just the practices or whatever. So, yeah, I'll just be watching a game at some point, either at the club or probably at home or at his place. It probably is his place. I don't think I have much. Like, I have a very small but very comfortable place. So but I don't think I have people over because I don't spend a lot of, you know, time there hanging out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't actually have no idea what Wise House looks like, but let's just say we usually hang at his place.
Right. Except he's trying... Okay, except I'm going to go ahead and do this to you. He's trying to manipulate his schedule so he can keep his job away from all of the games so he can watch those. So his availability is a bit limited while he builds up vacation time on a 20-hour-a-week job.
Huh. So he actually doesn't have a lot of time to hang out.
Well, he's trying to manage it. He's actually working 30-hour weeks at the moment to build up some time to see every game he possibly can.
Okay. Well, as long as he has still enough time for me, I don't really care.
He has time for you, just not at the moment. Just not right now.
Really? Okay, well then, I guess I'm not doing what I thought I was doing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I just didn't have any other ideas for what I would be up to.
I'm trying to push you over to the club, okay?
Okay, well, I guess I'll go to the club then.
And that's another thing. Lasco really wants nothing to do with the base jumper for some reason.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah.
I don't ever ask him to go there. I don't want my two worlds to mix anyway, so I fully support that, like, for the base jumper.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I don't think she really mentions that she still
goes there
associates with
occasionally.
those. Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She'll be there digitally.
Although, let's be fair, you did go on a train ride. You asked him to go on a train ride to Los Angeles with a few of them.
Yes, but the two are not supposed to associate at all. I asked him to go on that so that he could get me the book so I could read it. And because I thought someone might not need to be beat up, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I'll just like be messaging him while he's working, and then like digitally, I'll have my avatar or whatever at the base jumper, just sitting at the bar probably.
Mm-hmm. So
what is your avatar? I mean, is that some kind of remote?
Oh no, that's just what I look like. The Shallows. Okay, the Shallows is like a computer. It's a virtual reality that's just superimposed over the usual reality, so you can see both at the time.
Yeah, the interface system that we're using in this game recognizes the Shallows, which is augmented reality. Computer images overlaid over the existing reality.
Right.
And
so, in other words, I project my avatar there, but people don't actually see me and interact with me. I can even like buy people drinks and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I can probably even buy drinks and it will deliver them to my house.
Okay, so yeah, so you're like physically located at your house, but you're like
Yeah, but
your
like
presence
you can.
is there.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
My
Yeah,
digital presence.
she's probably on a recliner,
Yeah.
tapped into the deep so she can appear at the bar in the shallows. If that makes sense.
I think I can guess what the deep is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that like
That is full on virtual reality.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not really aware of what's going around you in the
For
room.
me, this is that way on my end, because then I'm not paying attention to my physical reality. I'm purely paying attention to my projected reality at the club. So it's just less exhausting because I only have to concentrate on one,
It
instance.
seems like that could be really convenient for travel purposes. Like, oh man, I don't have to drive.
It is.
Oh, it is.
I'm here.
Totally.
It is actually like I participate in most adventures that way, and I'm still able to do stuff.
That's actually kind of cool because that's kind of like turning like the physical world in a sense into like the internet, in the sense that if you want to be here, you don't have to travel. You just go to this website or
Send your presence over there.
Send your presence. That's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Oh, it gets crazier.
What?
People go to theater that way.
Okay. Imagine being able to send your mind out of your body to go to the theater or a business meeting while someone else takes over your body to do your laundry, go to the gym, take care of your pets, etc.
Oh, I read a science fiction story like that once, sort of ish, with a similar idea. Wow, that must involve some really interesting legal implications.
Yeah, there are waivers and there are waivers and licensing issues.
We run into a convict being transported, but someone else was controlling the body. So we didn't know why the guards were like chatting with this convict as if they were friends. But then like another guard was controlling the guy's body so that he wouldn't make trouble when he was being transported.
It almost makes you wonder, like, well, what's the point of like locking up the body? It's like, just put his mind somewhere.
Actually, they did.
Yes, they did.
So they were just putting it somewhere for like storage, basically, until he got out of whatever his sentence was.
Yeah, and like people who are in the hospital.
They can't do that for too long because, well, the problem with the whole Amish penal system, remember that originally solitary confinement and so forth? That's very bad.
Oh, okay. So it's not like it was.
You don't want your convicts going mad in prison. That would be bad. That would be disastrous.
Well, I mean, I was thinking like maybe his mind would be some kind of virtual reality with, I guess, other people to interact with, like maybe other convicts. I don't, but that's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Interactions with others is possible, but usually restricted when someone is in white room confinement. In the hospital, because the interface that everyone is fitted with, much the same way most people have cell phones today, it is possible to cut off neural feeds. So if you go into the hospital for major surgery, you could send, your mind would be put into a green room for your comfort, and then you could watch your surgery on closed-circuit TV.
Well, I like the first part. I don't know if I necessarily want to watch the surgery on my body.
You don't have to. Yeah.
Some people might. I don't think I'd go for that. But I mean, it seems like it's that's really cool because that probably sidesteps a lot of problems with anesthesia and stuff.
It does.
I mean, aside from like obviously lingering pain after. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Sign me up for that.
Make a character. You will be.
I'll be getting surgery.
Okay.
I'm sorry for that.
So we're at the club.
That's okay. That's okay. We're establishing world details for anyone just tuning in for the first time. This is the start of Season 2.
Shoo.
And Shu has left us.
Oh, no.
We'll now pause for station indemnification. Damn you, Google Plus! Sorry.
So, but there is only one grunt paladin in the room, right?
There is only one grunt paladin, yes.
So, what was the other? What was he looking at when he said, "Carly, come down here"?
Well, you guess he had a window open in the shallows.
Yeah, but what's the reason for Carly to come down? Just
he
general...
said there were multiple VIPs.
VIPs, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So not really trouble spots. Okay, so
you look well.
Is not really into a Forceball, so he has no idea who the players are and doesn't recognize them as VIPs. So I don't. Yeah, they are just people with Forceball uniforms to me.
Now, what did you say the bartender's name again? What was again?
Kevin Granger.
Filling that in for my own notes, just for completeness.
He's one of the first names we had in our NPC lists.
Yeah, and that was a while ago. My notes are in somewhat disarray. And Kevin, okay, you don't know all the... Okay, let me set this up for you. And he does a little twiddling in the shallows. You don't see what, but you get a link.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you look around the bar, you see pop-ups flying up from about 20 different people in the bar. Well, in the bar area, over by the staircase, both dance floors. Looks like the whole team's here.
Wow.
Or most of them. I think the team was about 24 people, and there are 20 here.
Oh, talk about putting all your eggs into one basket.
Uh-oh. Don't give him ideas. Unless he already had those ideas.
I will neither confirm nor deny that scurrilous rumor.
Nothing possibly bad could happen if most of an entire sports team is in one location.
Well, this is the hot place in Gary Restart, so seems only natural they'd come here.
Mm-hmm.
Or gratifying to most people.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay, then I'll take a look over the whole room to see if somebody is watching them with something else than adoration or something. If I see any,
you're scanning the crowd to see if there is a threat to them.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have Fate Roller up yet? This be time for it, or you can use your own dice. That works too.
Yeah.
But give me a roll. You're basing this on notice, I believe.
Yes. Notice.
And you might even have an appropriate.
Prepare, plan, execute is the stunt for the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Just in case I need it, I also have several
Fate points.
Fate points to spend. So let's see.
Okay. So does this give 2 extra dice, or is this like a +2 to your result?
Okay. Let's explain how rolls in Fate work.
Oh boy.
Any roll in Fate involves 4 dice.
Oh wait.
They are those they are the 2 pluses, 2 zeros, 2 minuses dice.
Oh, okay, I remember that.
AKA fudge dice.
Oh, I did see that somewhere.
Mm-hmm. And whatever you have a skill at, you start your roll there. In that case, Andreas has a notice of 2, and he's going to roll those dice with the pluses and minuses on it, and let's see what he gets.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Shu.
And I also have a stunt that I use for stuff that is in the security department and executing plans.
Okay, prepare. Okay, let me point you at the who's and whose adventures sheet. Welcome back, Shu. By the way, Prepare,
Thank you.
plan, execute. The note I have on that is +2 to create advantage with investigate when surveilling a location for a prolonged length of time. I don't think you've been a prolonged length of time enough looking at this crowd. It sounds like it's just going to be a notice test. However,
Okay.
security consultant with practical experience is a taggable aspect for you.
Mm-hmm.
So you might want to go ahead and roll first, and let's see if you even need anything from your aspects.
Let's roll. Whoops. And they all disappear. Ah, now they're back. So,
They're back, they disappear, they're back, and you have an average.
I have an average.
You can succeed at little cost. Actually, no, that's going to be a tie. That's going to be a succeed at a slight cost. So you do notice that there is one gentleman over at a table nearby, sort of giving Grunt Peldon the stink eye.
Mm-hmm.
I love that phrase.
The stink eye?
Yeah.
Okay.
It does sound nicer than the who farted eye.
Yeah.
So how does he look? The guy.
Okay, dressed mostly in black. Give me an empathy roll on this one.
Okay. Again on 2.
You have empathy at 2, and here comes some dice.
The same result.
Same result, and that is a succeed at slight cost. So yes, you do see him over there. You see him eyeing the attack forward of the Indiana Magnetons with, well, you don't think there's much rage in it. It looks like he's just eyeing him professionally.
Professionally, that's not good. Does he seem to have, does he look like a fighter? Or...
Yes, he does, but then again, so does Grunt.
Yeah.
Grunt may be even more of a fighter, come to think of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why? You'd be sitting at the bar, probably not far from Fudge and Kevin.
Yeah, do I notice this look giving? And do I recognize the guy who's giving the look?
You've never seen the guy giving the look before in your life.
But I'm pointing you towards him and tell you, look at this guy. He seems to watch our Forceball champion with a bit of an aggressive eye.
Yeah. I've noticed. Yeah, I'm already running the guy's face.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when Fudge points it out, I'm just like, kind of bored, like I do, just sort of checking it out. Who is the guy?
Who is the guy? Give me an interface roll. Let's see if you can pull up that information. And you have a good bit of interface, but this is going to be a slightly more challenging test than Andreas has faced so far.
Really? Interesting. Why? Because his face isn't in the system very much?
No, we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a bit. First, succeed.
All right. Just 5.
Straight up 5. Okay. What you pull up on him is a lot of basic information. The guy's name is Louis Naxtrius. I'll put that in the chat.
Okay.
And he is you can find a lot of basic information for him. You can find out he's got a driver's license, which is kind of uncommon these days when the cars drive themselves. He's got a weapons permit.
Okay. How long has he had? How long has he had a weapons permit?
He's had a weapons permit for about 8 years.
Okay, cool. It's a long time ago.
And his employer information, well, those records appear to be either old or not properly filled in. It looks like
So
he was. It looks like he was at a. He could be freelancing, or he did not, or he has not been fully. He has not fully filled in his records. Because the best you can do is find that he was part of a security company about 6 years ago, and apparently has maintained his weapon permits.
Not at all suspicious.
Nothing at all suspicious about that.
Yeah, this guy's he's in the business, as they say, probably. So he's maintained his permits. They weren't taken away from him or anything, even though he probably no longer works for a security firm. At least not a legit, over-the-table security firm. All right, cool.
That would seem to be the case.
What?
That would seem to be the case, yes. Now, how much of that are you passing along to Fudge?
I'll send along his name, and then just a tag that goes, yeah, looks like this guy's in the business.
The business.
The business.
The business. Proj and I are both in the business, so he knows what I mean.
Yeah. Okay.
And then I'll say, looks like more on my end than yours. He may be armed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, more on your end than mine. More on your end than mine. He may be armed.
Okay.
Right. I'm glad I corrected that. I would have given the completely wrong impression.
I'm going to start filling in names on the Hangout notes. Hope you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. Please do.
Okay.
The guy who's signed professionally is... Oh, sorry. Never mind. Go ahead.
Does he look like he has company? He has more...
It looks like he's over there by himself, just sitting at a table, nursing a drink.
And nobody is looking at him, trying to take cues from him or something.
Nope, doesn't look. You don't see anyone looking at him.
Okay.
Interesting.
All right. Then I'll just casually walk over to him, changing my face, and bringing my drink. Yeah, and then I'm going to talk to him, like sit down with him and say, Louis, is that you? It's been an awfully long time. I had trouble recognizing you for all that. You have changed quite a bit. What are you doing in here?
Do I even know you?
Well, how could you forget me? We worked together.
I think Fudge is trying to pull a fast one.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, for that, give me a deceive roll.
Yes, I give you a deceive roll.
And he's very good at deceive, but then again, we have yet to establish what those slight costs were earlier.
Uh-oh.
Okay, let's deceive. And this time, with my changed face, I can even use the stunt. So let's see what's... Oh my god.
Is that really good or really bad?
That was really good.
That was really good, yeah.
That was extremely good.
Yeah, he was starting at 7 because he has deceive at 5 plus an applicable stunt. That put him at 7. And then he rolled 4 pluses.
Wow. I think that's probably one of the highest things you can roll. Unless, I don't know, can you apply multiple stunts.
You could apply multiple things to it.
But still, that's really good.
That's
cool.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling over him with my portrayal of a former colleague from unspecified when that happened, who looks really hurt that he's not immediately recognized. So what have you been up to for the past? How many years have it been? I don't even.
Okay, it's not often that my photographic memory fails. But I admit, you're... Okay, listen, don't worry about me. I've got work.
Oh, sorry. But can I help in some way?
Smooth.
Once things are in place, they're in place. We need to start a fight. Yeah.
Oh.
And he gets up and he starts walking over to. Let me just do this.
I think things are about to get interesting.
Louis Naxtrius. I've added him. I've put on him photographic memory, which is probably going to come back to haunt you later.
Yep.
Well, it's a good thing you changed your face.
Yeah, not as close though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is he looked over in another direction very briefly when he made that determination, so he was getting a cue from someone else.
Oh.
Oh, am I okay? I want to trace his gaze and use like algorithm or science to tell who he was looking at. How do I do that?
Okay, it sounds like you're going to make. Well, let's see. It's not just a notice test. I think this would be investigate.
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 Where are these notes that you're putting?
Okay, if you start up Google Drive.
Oh, okay. Yep,
yeah,
I got that.
I have the spreadsheet up with everybody's characters in it, so I'm referencing that. And there is another document I have called Hangout Notes. That would be the little blue word processing icon over on the left.
I don't know if that is shared with me.
It should be shared with the community. It should be shared with everyone in the Hangout.
Oh, I see. Hangout Drive. Okay.
Yes.
Google. There we go.
Mr. Google Drive.
I see it.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's not what I was getting at. And now it appears in my recent history in my regular Google Drive tab. Awesome. Thank you.
See, here's the thing. I use interface when I'm using cameras to investigate. Yes, I do. It's a stunt. I didn't do amazing. I got a +1. So that's still 6.
Still 6? Well, that should be enough. You can trace the gaze over to one of 3 people.
Okay, awesome. That's good enough. Wonderful. So are they all clustered together? Do they look like they're associated with one another, or are they just standing clumped together? Like, are they associated people?
They don't look like they're related. They're not dressed like they're related. You have Rearguard Ivan Cleese of the Indiana Magnetons. And you have 2 other fellows over there. One you can get a quick ID as John Melbury based on his credentials.
Okay. I will tag them.
And the other is
in my interface.
And the other is a woman, Olivia Cromwell.
Oh shit! Oh, we know her, right?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. I was remembering that name from one of our previous adventures. Never mind. So we don't know her. All right. I'm gonna send Laszlo a note that says, "So is rear guard kind of the same? Does rear guard have competition player-wise with forward? Like, I'm trying to learn more about Forceball."
He sends you a quick position chart that shows 3 rear guards. There are 3 forward guard. There are 2 forward guards and 3 attack guards and a goalie. They're on different positions of the field, and the rear guards are not considered that glamorous. The attack forwards are the ones that actually score the points.
The attack forwards, and that's what. And but are they the same kinds of jobs? Like someone who is a rear guard could conceivably want to become a forward?
They might want to advance positions, yeah.
Okay, so but it's not like, you know, like a halfback wouldn't want to become a quarterback, you know, or like a goalie wouldn't want to become a, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you just choose different.
They require different skills, but it is possible for team players to advance, change position, etc.
Okay, so it is the kind of thing where they're close enough jobs where someone could conceivably want to become one, if they were the other.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy that is getting eyed has a more glamorous position, correct?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the rear guard might aspire to become an attack forward in much the same way an actor might decide. But what I really want to do is direct.
Okay.
Or something like. But in the meantime, we have Ivan Cleese going over to Grunt Peldon and make a few accusations at him about fouls he's drawn, and I need to make a provoke roll for him. Oh, that's mean. I like it.
Well, it says
James is... Yeah.
And then Pelvin, and then I'm like, Pelvin.
Grunt Pelvin is an awesome porn name.
That's the forward guide is going over to the his teammate and starting shit.
Yeah. Louis Naxtrius is going over to pick a fight with Grunt Peldon, claiming that in his exhibition games so far, he's been a lousy player drawing fouls. He's going to bring the team down. And being that Grunt has a short temper, he falls for it, and a melee breaks out on the bar floor. Other team members start getting into it, and yes, Shu summarized it. Lewis, the professional, went to pick a fight with Grunt, the attack forward.
All right, I'm going to send the rear guard an anonymous message that says, "Seems like everything is going according to plan," and watch his reaction.
Sneaky.
Just gotta stir some shit up, you know?
Mm-hmm. You know what?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be an overcome with empathy test. And you're trying to read his reaction. No, you have a... No, wait, that's Matt that has a stunt for that. However... Yeah, that is a that is an empathy test, so you're starting at 1 there.
Uh-oh.
However, you have a taggable aspect or two if you really feel the need
well,
to.
I guess the important thing is that I record it so that someone with more empathy can read it later. But yes, for the moment, I'm trying to simply read it. Let's see. Do I have any? I do have some.
You have some usable aspects here if you want to spend a fate point and trigger one of those.
Yeah.
But let's roll first to see if you even need to. Oh, hello, Emmy.
So that's something you can do after the fact. Like if you roll and your result isn't good enough, you can. Are you expending like some kind of resource when you do that? Some kind of limited thing?
Yes. Everybody starts with a certain number of fate points at the beginning of the session. The players are generally starting with 5 because they've been at this a while.
Is that the refresh?
I will. Yeah. Well, yeah. That's what it's based on.
Okay.
Everyone starts with at least that many points in let's see, at every milestone. So everyone starts with 5. Now, Shu, you're starting at an empathy of 1. What did you roll? Oh, hello again, Shu. She just rejoined us.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, how late am I?
A bit. We haven't done too much because we've been showing James the ropes.
Wait a minute.
The fire hose.
Yeah. I'm kind of feeling my way through things.
Okay.
You come in at the perfect moment.
Oh, did I?
What happened can basically be summarized in about a minute of talking. It's not too bad.
So my alarm didn't go off, so...
Oh,
we have uncovered quite possibly, a plot to, it's basically a Tanya Harding job.
Could be.
Well, looks like. I'm still looking up the other people that were involved. Oh, by the way, yeah, I'm running the other names that are involved. But anyway, first I have to make an extra roll. So my roll is 2, and I would like to tag. Okay, this is kind of weird, but I'd like to take Poor Little Rich Girl because basically pissing people off for fun was, you know, when I was alive, one of my primary amusements.
Yeah, maybe, but I think you have a better aspect for that.
Oh, which one?
I'm looking at your sheet here. High concept, everything was beautiful and nothing hurt. Trouble humans, how do they work? We saved what we could. Poor little rich girl.
Oh my God! Right, Trolla. That's a new aspect. Yeah, of course.
And this is why I have your character sheet in front of me. Yes.
Oh my gosh! I completely forgotten about that because I just started it recently. Well, obviously, I want to take that aspect, which brings me up to 4.
Mm-hmm. So she started at 1. Wait, you started at 1.
No,
you rolled 2. That would bring you up to 3. Tagging the aspect will take you up to 5.
Oh, well, okay then.
I can mathing. Yeah. Okay, here's the way the situation is going to break out. Dex, you just come into the base jumper at the time when Y is sitting over there by the bar looking vaguely smug. Probably. The chances are good.
Oh, yes.
And it looks like there is a fight breaking out on the bar floor between a few people. And, well, they'll have to fill you in a bit. Carly is just getting down the stairs, and 2 security people are rushing down into the area to try to bust up the fight or something. We're not sure quite what. But, yeah, the melee has broken out, and being that there are so many Forceball celebrities in the bar at this time, it's almost axiomatic that they join in. So you have a grand... It's getting to be.
Now, here's the question. Do we care if this guy gets injured?
If which guy gets injured?
Grunt.
Which one?
Grunt.
Grunt.
Grunt is the attack forward of the Indiana Magnetrons. He is a fairly high scorer, but very aggressive and poor-tempered.
Yeah, but do we want him hurt? No, definitely not in the base jumper.
Oh, okay. Because why does it especially care about his career?
If he gets run over by a car outside on the street, who cares? But if he gets, if his kneecaps get broken in the base jumper, that would give our establishment a bad name.
Yeah, that could be bad. So maybe taking Grunt out, or taking Lewis out, might be bad as well.
Yes.
So you got guards rushing down, you got players rushing in, and you have a situation where, well, let's see, Shu, let's just tell you that. Yeah, you did well on that. When you sent that message to Ivan Cleese, one of the three people you think Louis Naxtrius was looking at when he received his cue, Cleese got this weird, scared look and looked at John Melbury.
At John Melbury.
Okay, well, of course I get this on camera, but who's John Melbury?
You know, looking over his records, they look almost as clean as Louis Naxtrius's.
No.
So either he hired both of them, or maybe he hired a different guy for the same job, and someone else hired this guy, and he doesn't know quite what's going on.
Well,
what a tangled web.
Surprised. Yes, it gets worse when I run, trust me.
No.
So he gets a panic look. He definitely reacts. He definitely has a reaction, and that's not confusion or harm. So, okay, he definitely is planning.
No, I think it is. No, it is confusion. Confusion and fear.
Confusion and fear.
Yes.
So basically, I'm tagging all these people, and I'm sending my tags, well, the important ones, to Fudge. Just be like, this guy's starting some shit. This guy's associated with this guy. This guy looked at this guy. I'm not explaining any of it. I'm just like tagging the relevant people with like little blippy lights. So basically,
I'm sure once that melee that Fudge is in, the forming melee that Fudge is in the middle of, as soon as that clears, I'm sure he will welcome the opportunity to become aware of the people over there.
Yeah. What I will do is, I'm very thankful for all these hints, because I'm trying to be right next to Louis, or right in the area where Louis is. I want to see when he gets taken down by securities, and I also want to see who of the tagged people gets close enough to hurt Grunt. So I still have the drink in my hand, and if I get the impression that someone is going to hurt Grunt, then I will give him my drink into the eyes.
Okay, it has already all but gotten into the fist fight stage, and Grunt is going to throw the first punch because he's just that kind of hairpin.
It's okay. He can throw punches all he wants. I just want Louis taken out by security, and I want to make sure nobody else of the tag people get into him with a weapon or something, like a knife, whatever, something hard, a hard blunt
Okay,
object.
no knives popping out over there yet, but let's see. Oh, the guards do manage to fight their way into the crowd in order to try to break up the fight and neutralize Lewis. And it has finally occurred to me where I know another Lewis from in this game, and I may have to change that name, but not yet. In fact, I'm just going to leave it as a happy coincidence.
Yeah.
It's okay to occasionally have multiple people with the same first name.
Yeah, Louis was a popular name a while back, so many people named their sons Louis.
You call one of them Lou for short.
Yeah. Welcome back again, Shu. I got a notification that she rejoined the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, hello.
Like I said, there's nothing more than a fist fight going on between...
That's all right. I'll be close to the fist fight, but try not to get hit because I'm not the strongest fist fighter in the room.
Okay. Just trying to keep track. So, you were explaining why it was helpful that I tagged those people. What were you saying?
It was helpful for me to get to keep a kind of a picture. Who are the important players? Who need special watch? So if somebody is throwing a punch at Grunt, some no-name person, that's no problem. They can fight with him whatever they want. But if a Y tagged person gets close to Grunt, I want to try to interpose myself between them or distract them or hinder them in some way. That's what I'm going to do.
Good job. That is exactly what she intended.
Mm-hmm. Dex, you're just walking in on this chaos. What are you doing?
The problem is Dex doesn't recognize Fudge in this melee because he has changed his face.
Oops.
Great, yeah.
Guys, there's some other little detail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Carly is over there behind the bar looking at the situation and sort of shaking her head.
Yeah, go over to where Carly is and go, what the hell is going on?
I don't know, some sort of drama. If this gets more out of hand, I'm going to invoke the Midnight Protocol.
Midnight Protocol?
Here, let me send you a link. Yeah.
Anything that has the something protocol is like really scary. Protocol's not
a Dex, you get a quick download notification, and then nothing happens.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Fudge, are you doing anything to break up that fight? Because it looks like a few more people are getting involved, and the guards that have gotten into the melee. Fate roller, please. Yeah, the guards in there are not managing to calm down the situation. They seem to be more... Oh, now I hear the roll. Yeah, they seem to be more geared toward suppressing threats in their own manner. Let's put it that way. They're trying. They're not so good at calming the situation down. This might be a better job for someone else who's already in the fight. Hint, hint.
So did they take out Louis?
They haven't taken him out yet. They're still trying to get into the fight to sort of hold them back and get them to not want to attack each other. This is something that bouncers tend to do, which these guys aren't quite.
Yeah, because I specifically sent them a message to take out Louis. So, because I don't want, I get the feeling that it would be useful to stay on Louis's positive side, so that he remembers me as a helpful person.
And not a backstabbing liar. I understand the value of that, yeah.
So I won't try to calm things down, but kind of appear to be taking part without really taking part much. So I do the moves, but I try not to get hit. And not to hit anyone too hard, except if I get the feeling that someone is threatening Grunt, then I get...
No, but you don't get the feeling that anybody is really threatening Grunt, but then again, it's kind of hard to get that sort of feeling when practically everyone around you is fist fighting. Yeah.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
And is this John character? What's his name? John Marbury. Is he... What is he doing? Marbury. John Marbury.
Oh, he's looking over at the fight. He's looking over at the fight with some curious disinterest, and Ivan Cleese is just starting to get up. Are you doing anything to calm the fight down? Because at this point, some people are starting to mix it up around the winding staircase.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
When you tell a couple thousand people everybody knows this, suddenly people decide that of course they did already know that. That's kind of how herd mentality works.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not calming down the fight, but what can I use? What useful thing can I do?
I bet if you remove Grunt from the situation, things will calm down, maybe.
Yeah.
Possibly. Or,
but how to remove him?
He's a big guy.
Yeah, and I'm a smaller. I have narrower shoulders.
That's one way of putting it. Yeah.
Leverage.
Yeah. I guess I'm just going to try to emulate Jinx. And
you're not gonna flash people, are you?
No, I'm going to jump right in.
You're going to join the fighting?
I try to throw myself into 3 people to bring them down, so that we fall down in a mess of limbs. No, not hitting anyone, just jumping crosswise into the fray, so several people fall down. That would be the intention.
So it's a kind of a fight roll to create advantage then.
Yeah, kind of a kamikaze attack.
Yeah, you're trying to inflict the situation. You're trying to create a situational aspect here.
Yes.
That'll make fighting more difficult, basically.
Exactly. That's what I want to do.
Problem is, you don't even have fight on your sheet at the moment.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm going to use athletics to just jump. I don't want to hurt anyone. I just want to bring people down. So I'm just
Okay.
jumping.
So multiple takedown. I'll allow that with athletics since it's not strictly trying to do damage. Give me a roll.
I give you a roll.
Good luck, buddy.
No, let's fate roll this, and it is. What do I have? Athletics at 1.
You have athletics starting at 1.
All right. Uh-oh. Let me think if I can use some.
I'm going to. I do see something that could work. I think. What did you roll?
And 30. I rolled poor, so I got 2 minuses. So I'm at
two
minus
minuses,
1.
though. Mm-hmm. So okay. James, what's happening here? He's rolled his dice, and they didn't work out too well for him. So he started at average, got a -2 on the roll. Now he's at -1. Now I believe he is considering. Bad. I believe now he is considering using an aspect, either for the +2 or the re-roll. And this is why you tag aspects after you roll.
Hmm.
Oh wait, re-roll. That's an option.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let me try to re-roll.
Spend a fate point.
Spend a fate point.
Which aspect are you tagging? Because I have one in mind here.
If shit blows up in your face, stands 30.
That was the correct answer. Give me a roll.
Just dancing in the middle there. Instead of trying to knock people down, you just...
And I roll again. That looks a bit better. So I got to +2.
Okay, I'm going to give you 1 free invoke on the situational aspect, which I'll be writing up in the document, the Hangout document, in just a moment, once it comes up, because my internet is crap. Let's see. There we go.
On which page do you put that now?
Okay, I have a Hangout Notes document in Google Drive.
No, showcase. Hangout Notes.
Is this something we should have?
You should already have it available in Google Drive.
Like, if you open it actually as a Hangout app.
So you have a free invoke on the aspect pig pile on the bar floor.
All right. Okay.
Which, depending upon the bar, could be a very groovy thing.
What is the HL?
Okay, that's actually a capital I. That is a hero invoke.
Oh.
Meaning it's something available for the players to use.
You need a serif font, sir.
Could you post a link to that in chat, David?
Let's see.
I think this might work for you. That's what I got.
It says I need permission.
It should be allowed to you because you're in the chat. Let's see. Let's use that share button. Where is that share button? Oh, share button. Okay, there we go. For the font, at least. And it's not letting me share at the moment.
Do you have Google Drive in the list of apps on the left?
Yeah.
Like if you open it up that way,
if you bring that up, there should be 3 little icons in the bar on the far left of that screen.
Yes.
What I actually did with
and
that,
the blue one is the Hangout and Aspect Notes.
what I did was open it, and then I have actual Google Drive open in a browser tab, and then it appeared in my recent history.
That's
and I was
right.
able to
Now
open
I
it.
have it. Okay. Pig pile on the bar floor.
Big pile on the bar floor.
That sounds like a good song name.
Okay.
That was a good beat.
Possible sequel to Barroom Blitz. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
This is also appropriate.
So,
Yeah, the guards are going to try to calm things down again, and they're probably going to fail. Because they're not very good at this.
so what's Louis doing in the meantime?
Lewis is just sort of tangled up in the pig pile. Yeah, they don't quite do it again. They're not handling a peaceful resolution of the situation at all well, and that fight that was in the stairwell is starting to spread its way into the lower dance floor. So you have other people getting involved.
Okay.
And what I put in chat is, while Dex is watching this, God, that smaller guy jumping in there is completely fucking nuts.
And what I'm adding in chat after it, he gets it from his sister.
Yes, but Dex doesn't know that yet.
He will. Oh, he will.
Who is his sister?
Jinx, which this is such an interesting little triangle because Jinx started out as Dex's lover, and then like now Dex and Fudge are together.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is Jinx an NPC?
But
No, yeah.
Player character that isn't with us anymore.
Oh, okay.
So former PC, current NPC.
I thought I recognized
she
the name
exists
from
now.
something, but
She exists now more as a legend, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. She ran out somewhere probably to do, more crazy stuff, and then in that time shit happened, and now Fudge and Dex are together, and it's just kind of like, if she ever comes back, we both feel like, oh, fuck.
super awkward.
No.
Yeah.
This
is what the situation is. And by the way, since you're kind of getting yourself involved in the fight now, Fudge, give me a physique roll.
Ouch. Physique.
That's another one you don't have.
Yeah.
He doesn't.
No.
So let's roll at 0.
Okay, if you don't have the skill, you start at -1.
-1.
Ooh.
Okay, then I'm at +2 as a result.
Okay, that is...
Is that... Was that what your roll was, or was that like spending one of your fate points?
He didn't have to spend a fate point on that. He started at -1 because he doesn't have the physique skill. He rolled a +3.
Oh, okay.
That puts him at 2 then.
Yeah.
Which is good enough that you don't get any stress for it, but you do get a temporary consequence. You get a boost scored on you, and that would be in this other document. Switching between them is just so slow at the moment. Okay,
is that
in lieu of...
Which document is that?
The note or the sheet?
That's going into the Hangout and Aspect Notes, because this is going to be a temporary thing. This is just a boost on you.
Mm-hmm.
I cast Summon Shoe. I think we should buy better internets for everybody.
Yeah.
I would like that.
I think we need working shallows.
Let's work on reliable connections first. I'm surprised mine hasn't gone out. But yeah, I went ahead and put in a. You have the temporary boost against you, Fudge. Bell rung. You didn't take any stress, but you've been rattled a bit.
Okay. Somebody stumbled over me.
Somebody either stumbled over you, punched you, or kicked you, but the upshot is the same in any case. You're a little disoriented right now, and I could use that against you later.
Mm-hmm.
Could.
Could.
Yes.
You would choose not to?
I might. I might not even need it. We'll see.
Oh.
No.
This sounds really bad for you.
Okay, opposition boost. It could be. They haven't been involved in a whole lot of fights, and this is why I had Brian build his character. This is why I think it's good that Brian built his character the way he did. You'll be introduced to him later. But in the meantime, you have the fight spreading to that lower stairwell. I mean, from the lower stairwell into the lower dance floor area. So you have Ivan and various other people starting to advance on the growing melee. And Dex, that's when you hear Carly. That's the way it's going to be then. Midnight Protocol it is. She stabs at a virtual button somewhere in front of her, and the lights go out.
Wow.
Are you serious?
I am
That's
serious.
your plan?
Now it's really dark and nobody knows it.
That's bad.
You'll see. Oh, Dex, by the way, since you have the Midnight Protocol software loaded, you can still see.
Oh, jeez.
And it's amazing that so you can see that everyone is sort of holding back now because they can't be quite sure what they're throwing punches at.
Huh.
Here's another aspect. Since this is the 23rd century and the interface is the replacement for the phone, nobody carries any light-producing devices anymore. So it is pitch black. Well, let's face it, when your phone is a little square in the corner of your vision, which doesn't have to produce any light, you're not going to feel the need to carry around such a device, so you can't light your way with the screen.
Mm-hmm. Well.
Okay.
Now, the guards can see, because they have the Midnight Protocol. Andreas, Shu, Fudge, and Y both get links to the Midnight Protocol software, so after a moment or two, call it 2 actions, you can see again.
Uh-huh.
All right, excellent.
And so the guards are pulling people apart now very bodily and very handily because they don't have any competition now.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, it's kind of amusing to watch as they pull them up and then spin them around once. They don't know which way they're facing.
I want to just say, kind of like loudly, like, okay, everybody gets a timeout now.
Okay. Can I hear that?
You can hear that. And Carly says, "Oh, I like that. Oh, I like that so much." And she starts wiggling her fingers as if manipulating something. A moment or two later, just about the time that Fudge and Y get their vision back, a graphic of a clock with the words "time out" and a little dunce cap in the corner comes up overhead so everyone can sort of look up and see it and be admonished.
I was thinking more like a naughty stare for 3-year-olds, but that works too.
Okay.
And you can see them leading Lewis Naxtrius in one direction and Grunt Peldon in another direction.
All right.
Does anyone look hurt? Like,
you start looking around, and you look over, and okay, Lewis, and that's just been temporary stress, no permanent consequences from that. But you look over to the lower dance floor where the fighting had just spread, and there is Ivan Cleese holding his leg.
Oh. Huh. Interesting.
Okay. Then
once they've been separated for a few more once they've been separated for a little while, I mean Lewis and Grunt, Carly brings the lights back up. Everyone starts resuming, and
fighting or dancing?
Just sort of standing around, regaining their bearings. And there is one voiceover at the bar. How could you? Someone asking Kevin, "How could you see me to give me this drink?" Kevin just sort of taps his nose, and a good bartender knows these things.
I'm sending Dex a message because he's here now, and I heard him.
Yeah.
So I point out Ivan and send Dex a message. Someone seems to be hurt over there.
Yeah, a few of the other team members are congregating him around him well, and yes, it does look like his leg is bleeding.
Oh crap!
Oh shit!
Is any one of the tagged people in his area, in his vicinity?
Okay, you look around a bit, and all three of them. Ivan is over close to the stairwell.
Mm-hmm.
John is over in one corner, and Olivia is over in another corner. So in the dark, in the dark and the space beforehand, they moved apart apparently.
Mm-hmm. So both could have done something and then shrank back from it.
I love you. Let's not mince words here. I love you, Shu, but your connection should be taken out back and shot.
I guess I want to go over and see how bad the wound is, while also sending Fudge a message. Where the hell are you?
Right in the middle of things, but I need to be incognito.
In the middle of things.
Huh.
And
Shu, what are you doing in the meantime?
And I give an awkward wave with the hand, like when I stand up. So Dex will see me.
Yeah, he did the facey switchy thing again. He was also the one that initiated the pig pile, and that takes a minute or two to untangle.
Yeah, just kind of narrow eyes and then send him a message that says, "Oh my God, you're just like your sister sometimes."
Okay, so since it's been undone, I'm erasing the pig pile on the bar floor.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm also clearing Fudge's bell rung situation because that status is no more. The fight is no more.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a boost anyway, so hey. But you do have the situation where Ivan Cleese is being escorted out of the bar with a bleeding leg. There's some rags have been wrapped, some towels have been wrapped around it. From the bar. and they're going to get him over to the training facility to have that looked at.
Okay. Where's Louis?
Louis is getting a stern talking to from the guards about causing trouble in the bar.
All right. I guess I'm going to invite him for a drink and talk to him to see if I can find out stuff.
All right.
So I'm waiting for the guards to stop admonishing him.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to ask him, so now that things have calmed down, care for a drink?
Yeah, after that mess, yeah, I could use one. Somewhere else, I think.
I guess I'll head over towards where Fudge is too now.
Gonna head over to where Fudge is.
Yeah.
Because it looks like he's talking to some other guy.
Yeah, and they are turning towards the door.
Shu, what are you doing? What is Y doing in the meantime?
I don't know. She was just kind of, enjoying the carnage and the fuss. But now it's over. And I think she's
bleeding.
Yeah, Ivan is bleeding. She thought he was the one that was starting shit, so either he got his muffins or or somebody was actually up to him, but he doesn't play a coveted role unless someone was. Is he an especially high valuable team member?
How to describe his relationship with the fans? They're okay with him.
Okay, so he's not a contentious figure by any means.
He's not a contentious figure. On the other hand, he apparently has received a leg wound in a bar fight.
Yeah.
The plot thickens.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It'll get extra chunky before I'm done.
Oh, okay. Let's.
The plot, not Ivan's blood.
Let's leave those especially visceral descriptions. I guess I'll send him a message and say, which hospital would you prefer to be taken to?
And, well, you have teammates bustling him out already. And he...
I'll still send him a message, and I will have a car come immediately to take him to the place. But hopefully my help on this will get him talking to me.
Okay, give me a rapport roll.
So, but you said about John is everything about John's situation indicates he's in the business as well?
He has just about as vague a visible background history as Louis Naxtrius does.
But with the same details, like does he have weapon permits?
He actually doesn't have a weapon permit. And actually, if you're going to look, and I might as well give this to you because I know you will, he does have a current employer.
Okay.
It's with a public relations firm.
What was his last job before? Did he ever have to keep up?
Oh, he has a house to keep up, and it's not a bad looking neighborhood it's in. But let's see. Let me just note John Melbury.
Was he ever in security or any kind of, fighting, security, military?
He was not. Looks like he's worked more in ad copy and, like I said, public relations.
Okay, so he'd be the mastermind here. He's not the actual worker.
It sounds like, yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Okay, well then like I said, I'll ask him which hospital he would prefer to be taken to, and call a car so that by the time they get him outside, he's already there. I mean, it's already there by the time he's outside.
Okay, did you give me that rapport rule yet? Because we're doing all these things to get into his good graces.
Yeah. I got a +3.
You got a +3,
On the
and
roll.
your rapport is that. So that gives you a 6.
Sweet! I forgot that I had a +3 on rapport. Nice.
It pays to look at your character sheet once in a while. I know I do.
Okay.
That is good enough to get a thank you from him, and he tells you, no, I'm going to get this looked at the training facility.
Oh.
And I'm going to get a pretty quick trip there too, by the looks of it.
Well, yes, of course.
Judging by everyone's concern around him.
Yes, I took the liberty of getting you a car. Just let me know where you'd like to go, and I'll get it right away. And as he can see, the destination of the training facility shows up on the car's, destination thing. So he's like, I'm just a fan.
Yeah, and he sends back a message, but bleeding.
As if he doesn't want to get into the car because he's bleeding?
Yes.
Oh, I just say
chemicals for that shit.
I say I'll take care of it. Don't worry. And I'll tell Dex to...
And a minute or so later, you get a message from him again. No, security wants me to use their cars.
Security of the base jumper?
No, for the team. The Indiana Magnetons have a car there for him. Or at least one of the cars that the team came in.
Well, I won't argue with him then.
Yeah, they say it's to reduce abduction risks. You don't seem that type, though. So it sounds like yes, he does. It sounds like yes, he does trust you, but for whatever reason, he can't use the vehicle you provided.
Yeah, because someone else has told him not to.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Right. Okay. Well, I'll just say I understand. Of course, it's good that they're looking after you. It's very unfortunate that that happened. Did you see who hurt you?
No, I didn't. It was I was just getting my way over there, and I felt the slash on my leg.
Wait, this happened when it was dark. This happened when it was dark?
Just before.
Just before. Well, I certainly hope they find the person. That's really too bad.
I hope they do too.
Alright, so if it happened just before it was dark, that means that if I go through my feed, I'll be able to figure it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And this would be a camera. This would be a surveillance with camera things. So it sounds like you're going to work in Notice.
Oh, Notice? Okay.
Notice, yeah.
Oh, awesome. I got a +1, +4, so 5.
That puts you at 5.
Ooh.
Okay, which is good enough. Let's see. Create an advantage with... Let's see. On a successful roll to create an advantage with Notice, by surveilling with cameras, you can discover or create one additional aspect.
Exactly.
So, let's see. For my own notes here, let's see. I am going to note that John Melbury was pretty close to Ivan Cleese at that time. Not right next to him. And in fact, he appears to be on the wrong side.
Huh.
The plot chunkifies.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Who else is near him?
There is a table with 3 people near him, but they're all at their seats.
But I should be able to see who actually did it. I mean, with a video, I should actually be able to see who did it. Like, someone moving in and doing it. Like, if I pause, because I mean, I have the advantage of several angles.
Mysterious.
Yes, it is. And yet, you can't see anyone there before the lights went out who was in a position to slash at Ivan Cleese's leg.
God
He
damn
had his
it.
own leg.
So, so either this is a frame job and he hurt himself, or had someone hurt him. So Melvin is on the wrong side, and there's a table on the other side. So even if he did move over to the other side, there was a table blocking his way.
Well, there was a table with 3 guys about 6 feet away at the time, but none of them look like they're making a move on him before the lights go out.
Okay. So at the very least, either he misremembers or he's lying to me.
Yes.
Okay. Well, then I will, one, run his voice through software to tell if he's lying to me. Or
So
empathy, if you would prefer.
That sounds like empathy,
I will
yeah.
analyze his voice to find out if he's lying to me.
Mm-hmm.
2, I will go into my footage of after the midnight protocol. Because you said I only lost 2 seconds. So the only way that
seconds, yeah.
Right. So if it happened in those 2 seconds, I will at least be able to see someone moving in or someone moving away. I won't miss the whole thing. It's not possible.
Right.
So then I will go into just after my midnight protocol kicked in.
Okay, let's see.
And I will go frame by frame if I have to. Okay. I have the processing power.
Give me a roll on investigate, since that's basically what you're doing here.
Okay.
Won't be tremendously difficult, but...
Alright, I got a neutral on that, so that's 2.
That is 2. That is enough.
Alright, awesome.
No, you can see at no time where anybody else could have been in position to slash at his leg. And he is pretty much... You get the feeling that, yes, he is lying to you. There is a certain amount of stress in his voice, and even the texting that suggests...
Okay, so do I see him... Either before or after do I see his shoulder moving in a way that suggests he is doing something to himself? Or do I see a weapon in his hand? Because he would have to take something out and put it back if he did it himself. Unless this is some sort of fired blade or thrown weapon. That's another possibility. But then again, I would catch it on the cameras. And I didn't catch anything before or after. Well, I'll have to check that over again. Yeah, well, I will run the software to see if there's anything moving quickly through the frames. And then I will look at his body language myself to see if he's making some kind of motion against himself.
Yeah, it looks as if he might have stumbled in the dark, and during that time he could possibly have cut his leg. His own leg.
On purpose.
On purpose, whatever that purpose may be. You have the what, but not the why yet.
Alright, well...
And as it is about 1 o'clock now, and you have the central mystery for this setup anyway, I think I'm going to call the broadcast here.
Okay.
Good investigation. That was sneaky.
So I'm going to stop the broadcast.